Today, I will show you exactly what happens if you invest 20,000 naira every single month for 10 years and your money grows at an average annual yield of just 20%. We will break it down year by year so you can see how your money multiplies before your own eye. If you are a new viewer, you are welcome. This channel is where we discuss investment matters, and I try to explain in the most simple way so all my viewers can understand. Join this community by clicking on the subscribe button. You are welcome. What happens if you invest 20,000 naira every month for 10 years and you get 20% annual yield on your money? Before we go into the numbers, let me make something clear. We are not talking about saving 20,000 naira in a bank. No. We are talking about investing 20,000 naira monthly, maybe inside a mutual fund, maybe inside a money market fund, or maybe inside a stock portfolio. Our main aim is to get 20% annual yield from our money when we invest 20,000 naira every single month. We will also be reinvesting our profit. That means compounding. We will make compound interest to work for us so that our small money can become something big at the end of the day. Because compound interest is the secret to building wealth over time. Now, let's go into the numbers. Remember, we are investing 20,000 naira every single month. By the end of the year, if you invest 20,000 naira every month, 20,000 naira times 12 equals to 240,000 naira. So that means we are investing a total of 240,000 naira every year. Now, this is where I'm going to put the year. This is where I'm going to put the amount. The total amount invested will be here. And this is where I will put the returns. The total amount invested plus the returns, I will put it here. So please follow me. Now, the first year, our total invested amount is 240,000 naira. That is 20,000 naira times 12. Now, remember I said we are earning 20% return, 20% annual yield. And we can get this in most mutual funds. We can get this rate. Now, after 1 year, our returns will be 48,000 naira because 20% of 240,000 is 48,000 naira. So, at the end of your first year, your total investment is now worth around 288,000 naira. Remember, we earned 48,000 naira, 20% here, plus our capital, 288,000 naira. If you understand, let me know in the comments. In the second year, you are adding another 240,000 naira. You know, you contribute, you invest 20,000 naira every month. Another 12 months, that is 240,000 naira. So, if you add it to our old investment, our old balance, that makes a total of 528,000. So here, if we add it, our total here will now be 528,000 naira. 528,000 naira. Do you understand? Again, we are investing 20,000 naira every month. So the second year, our 20,000 times 12 is 240. If we add it to our balance, our first year balance, that is 528,000 naira. So now, in that second year, after the end of the year, there is another 20% growth on this money. And 20% of 528,000 naira is 105,600 naira profit. We will add it to this. So our total returns plus capital at the end of the second year, we now worth 600,000 33,600 naira. So if we add our profit 20%, so this is our total invested at the end of the second year. Total invested and returns. Now, this is our third year, year 3. Remember, our total returns and investments at the end of the year 2 is 633,600 naira. This is the third year now. We will invest another 20,000 naira, another 12 months, because we are doing our investment 20,000 naira every month. Another 240,000 naira will be added to our investments again. So now 240,000 naira plus this, our total invested amount in the third year will now worth 873,600 naira. On this balance again, we will earn another 20%. So 20% of this now is 174,720. 174,720. So our total investment at the end of the third year is now 1,048,320. 48,320. You can see that gradually our investment is growing by just investing 20,000 naira every month. Year 4, you invested another 240,000 naira, making it 1,288,320 naira. So another 20% will be applied here, and you will have 257,664 profits. So the profit plus this will give us this. So at the end of the fourth year, your money is now worth 1,545,984. So now let's go to the fifth year. You can see now that you are making profit. Your investment is making sense now by just investing 20,000 naira every month. Year 5, another 240,000 naira will be added to this. So now you now have a total of 1,785,984. So now you will earn 20% from this. Imagine 20% of this amount is around 357,000 plus profit. So the actual amount is 357,196 added to this. So your total returns plus investment in the fifth year is now worth 2,143,180 at the fifth year. By year 6, your total invested amount is now 2,883,180. 20% of this amount is 476,636. 20% of this. So if you add the 20% to this, you are getting 2,859,816 naira. Now, year 7 now. Year 7, you are contributing another 240,000 naira. Your 20,000 naira monthly investment. So if you add the 240,000 naira to this now, your end of year 6 total investment and returns. That means you will now have about 3,099,816. You can also do the calculation. Yes. Now, you are getting another 20%. You are earning 20%. It is 20% yearly yield, yearly returns. So 20% of this now, you are getting 619,963 profits. 619,963. Plus this, you will now have a total of 3,719,779. So look at that now. This is your total amount, total invested and returns in year 7. 3,719,779 naira. So let's go to year 8. As you can see, your 20,000 naira monthly is becoming millions now, just in the year 7. On the year 8, another 240,000 naira plus this, you now have 3,959,779. So this is the total invested amount in year 8. You will get 20% from this. So 20% of this amount is 791,955 plus this. So your total amount in year 8, at the end of year 8, will now be what? 4,751,734. 4,751,734 naira. So this is your end of year 8 balance for just investing 20,000 naira every month and compounding your principal and interest every year. Let's go to year 9. Year 9, you continue your 20,000 naira monthly investment, and 240,000 naira will be added to this again. Now, you now have a total of 4,991,734. The total amount invested. At the end of the year 9, you have crossed about 5 million naira because your total amount will now be what? Because you earn 20% from this. And 20% from this is about 998,347. 20% of this amount. Your total returns here, the 20% of this amount is about 998,347 naira. So if you add it to this, your closing balance at the year 9 will now be what? 5,990,990,081. So this is your closing balance. 5,990,081. This is your closing balance at year 9. Now we go to year 10, the final year now. You invest your normal 20,000 naira monthly. That is 240,000 naira in a year. You will add it to this again. Now you are going to have a total of 6,230,081. So now you earn 20% of this, and 20% of this is 1,246,016. So that is the profit, 20% of this. If you add this to this at the end of the 10th year, that means you are having a total of 7,476,476,097. So at the end of 10 years, your total investment is now what? This 7,476,097. And in total, you only contributed about 2.4 million naira over 10 years. Calculate it. 20,000 naira times 12 is 240,000 naira. It's 240,000 naira. Then times 10 years is just 2,400,000 naira. That is your total amount contributed for 10 years. But your money grew to 7 million plus 7,476,000 because you were consistent and allowed compound interest to work for you. The big lesson from here is this. You see, many people think you must have millions before you can start investing. But that is not true at all. You just saw how 20,000 naira every month, something you might even spend on data, on food, on hangout, can grow into 7 million naira in 10 years. That is the power of time and consistency. The earlier you start, the faster your money begins to work for you. Every naira you invest is like sending a small soldier to go out and fight for more money for you. But if you keep your money idle in your bank account, it is just sitting there doing nothing. It's not really about how much you earn. It's about how much you invest consistently. Even if you cannot invest this 20,000 naira, if your own is 5,000 naira, if it is 10,000 naira, if it is more, the most important thing is to start. Now imagine if you increase your investment as your income grows. That 7 million naira could easily become 15 million, 20 million or more. If this video opened your eyes and motivated you to start investing, don't just go away. Hit the like button so more Nigerians can see this and learn also. Subscribe to my channel because every day I bring investment tips and strategies like this. Thank you again for watching this video, and I see you in the next video.